Look at this Hobbit Hole Greenhouse with a beautiful morning glory flowers. Look, 2 square feet. Look at all the tomatoes. Enough to do salsa. Like crazy, but look at the Hobbit Hole Greenhouse. Insane growth, 6 months after getting it finished. It's a jungle, the fruit trees are growing great, citrus trees. We're looking for big growth really quick. No blemishes on when they're growing in the Hobbit Hole Greenhouse. 34. Okay. And here's another peach tree. This one's got a little dead growth on top. Take that away and it's growing. Oh yeah, and the results aren't just one Hobbit Hole Greenhouse. It is all the Hobbit Hole Greenhouses. Here's another one. And we'll do this one in the next video. Look at this baby out of one of our other Hobbit Hole Greenhouses. This has got to be at least 2 pounds. And look at the quality of the tomatoes coming out of these things. Absolutely beautiful and red. Good morning here in Ogden, Utah, Zone 6. We're going to show you our Hobbit Hole Greenhouses. And not only can we produce citrus inside of them, peaches real early, but we can also produce tons of vegetables. You guys have got to see this. The best looking tomatoes you have ever seen, most productive, and we're going to keep them going into the winter for free. Take a look. So the basis of the Hobbit Hole Greenhouse is we have compost in between layers of plastic, compost around it, and we look in the window. Look at the tomatoes. Holy cow. Let's go see what kind of yields we get weekly. And yeah, we'll get to the grapefruit clear over there on our next video. So this tomato plant's a volunteer, and sometimes birds will actually plant these, and the birds actually planted this. These are some beautiful lemon boy tomatoes that I did not plant, that are volunteer. So the birds actually will eat these tomatoes when I throw them out when they're overripe. And yeah, they'll go to the bathroom on the farm floor and they will plant these things, and we take advantage of it with beautiful lemon boy tomatoes. Look at these beautiful things right here. As we go inside the Hobbit Hole Greenhouse, this is how you get the thing to go crazy. You plant, look at this. This peach tree was planted this spring in the Hobbit Hole Greenhouse, and look how big it is. 1 year, actually less than a year, 6 months. Look at that. We're gonna have peaches on this next year. So peach trees really grow fast inside the Hobbit Hole Greenhouse, but look at the growth. This is like a freaking jungle. And look at the tomatoes that I've picked so far. Okay, and we're gonna continue show you the yields out of a Hobbit Hole Greenhouse in the middle of September. These are beautiful tomatoes. Okay, and we'll just kind of wipe that off and put that in there. The one thing you want to look for when you grow tomatoes in a Hobbit Hole Greenhouse is you want to keep an eye out for rats. They will eat these tomatoes alive, worse than anything, especially when we close the greenhouse up for the fall. Okay, so we're going to continue on. So this greenhouse costs less than $1,000 to build, and we have a video in the link. This is a real big citrus tree I put in, and we are actually going to trim this tomato plant back so this citrus tree can grow at its full glory. It is a first-year tree. It needs a little more TLC than I've been able to give it. I'm a very busy farmer at farmers markets, and I wish I had more time to do all of this. But we're gonna water this tree really good. This is a huge citrus tree. And yeah, not only farming, but I had a kidney stone, and that was no fun. Had to have that taken out. Okay, so this thing's a jungle. Let's pick some tomatoes. Okay, let's continue picking tomatoes. And they're just everywhere. We're gonna pick them a little bit orange and let them ripen up in the house. Unless we see ones like this that are ripe right now. And we can sort them around and keep the more ripe ones more cool, and they will keep a lot better. Because right now it is cool at night. We leave all the windows and doors open to help these things stay nice and cool like it is outside. And then as we get in the late fall, mid to late October, we will shut the windows and doors up and ventilate it and keep the production going late in the season. There's a real pretty tomato. Okay, this citrus tree needs water, so we're gonna give it some water in just a little bit. Okay, so I've barely moved in this greenhouse, and I have about a box of tomatoes already. All right, let's keep going. So we can get busy neglecting, or we can get busy harvesting, weeding, but we can't neglect our beautiful trees that we planted in here. And just a real soft soaking of water, really slow, so these tree roots can get it all up. Make this tree really, really, really happy. Good 5-gallon bucket of water will always do the trick. And this is a beautiful tree. Deep in the tomato jungle, I feel like I'm on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Here's some big tomatoes. So we planted celebrity tomatoes, and these are nice. Nice and big, and inside here, they don't get all the cracks that we usually see. Next door, this is a little kumquat tree we planted. Okay, and if I look really close, there's kumquats. Look at that. First year tree, 6 months old, already kumquats. So let's move some of these plants out of the way and let this little tree do its thing. As we're getting into the fall, we want to give the trees the best care of everything. And these are big tomatoes. We're gonna let them ripen up in the house. It will be nice and red in a couple days. All right, lots more tomatoes right here. It's right here in this little water ditch. We can see this little citrus tree isn't that happy. So we're gonna move the tomatoes out of its way, and we're gonna hand water it for the rest of the year. And even though it looks a little bit ugly, it's gonna grow back good because it's got all this green. So we're gonna start seeing new green growth. And we'll kind of just prune that top little part off that's broke. And this little citrus tree is gonna be real happy and grow. We're gonna give it TLC through the winter in this Hobbit Hole Greenhouse. Okay, let's continue walking down. And I just see tomatoes everywhere I look. And they're big, no cracks. This is like the perfect home. Soil's beautiful. Okay, all right, let's continue on. Okay, here's a bunch right here. So we have these nice little ones too. Okay, right here. So even though I planted celebrity in here, I'm thinking there's some volunteers. Okay, let's go down here. Oh, look at all these tomatoes. Here's a nice one snuck in here. Okay, so this right here is probably a great area for a mouse or something to live. It would be a great place to take care of that problem with a trap or whatever you see fit to get that issue out. Okay, here are the big daddies of tomatoes right here. Here we go. Here's a beautiful orange navel tree, and we just picked a ton of tomatoes. 20 in just a few square feet. We showcase that on a reel. We actually count them. So we'll keep going. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is just a few square feet, folks, sorry. Not people, folks. 26. 27 with a spider web on it though. Take away later. 28, 29, little ones, but we'll still count them. 30, 31. Oops, not a green one. We won't count that. So we're back down to 30. Oh, there's a lot. Look at these. 31. 32. 33. They're big and luscious and beautiful. Look at that. No blemishes on when they're grown in a Hobbit Hole greenhouse. 34. Okay. And here's another peach tree. This one's got a little dead growth on top. Take that away and it's growing like crazy. But look at the Hobbit Hole greenhouse. Insane growth, 6 months after getting it finished. It's a jungle. The fruit trees are growing great. Citrus trees. We're looking for big growth really quick in our Hobbit Hole greenhouse method. I hope you enjoyed this video. You subscribe and bang on that like button. It's a lot of hard work. We want to see that thumbs up 500 million times over. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, and at the bottom of the barrel is just really nice. That one, I'll go for the salsa on top. And so we'll sort out the ones that are a little not overripe, but a little juicy. This one's real fragile, so I'm gonna put him on top of that box. Real nice. So you can see the yields, the perfection, the fruit quality of our Hobbit Hole greenhouses. And we're going to be at the Baker Creek Farming Festival in Missouri on October 5th. We're going to give a speech, a little class on these Hobbit Hole greenhouses, talk about it. Hope to see you there if you live nearby. Great opportunity for us. We're going to talk all about raising everything in Hobbit Hole greenhouses. Winter crops, summer crops, and of course citrus. This one got some nibbles on, so we'll save that one for probably just eating fresh. Okay, so we got quite a few tomatoes. Let's continue and see what else we can find.